Hello. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. We are sure that with the combination of papers that we have got from academia, research institutions, and the industry, we hope that discussions are going to happen related to the recent advances as well as the challenges related to public key infrastructure. Now we have our chief guest, Dr. Rajendra Kumar Ies, who is the Additional Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India. He is an international economic development professional, public policy, ICT for development, and digital government specialist with over 29 years of experience in the Indian administrative services. He has held several senior positions in public policy and administration at both state and federal levels. His areas of interest include economic development policy and planning, information and communication technologies and development, digital governance, climate change and development, and urban and regional planning and development. Now, I request our chief guest to deliver the inaugural address.
Thank you, and very good morning to everyone there, all the distinguished invitees on the dais, my colleagues on the dais, all the distinguished participants who have joined from the virtual mode, all the participants in the conference. Very good morning to everyone. I really wished till yesterday that I could be there, but then it was not really feasible for me to travel because of the prevailing situation there. But my best wishes for holding this important conference, even in the midst of all the difficulties that are there in the city right now. As you have heard from the earlier speakers, PKI itself is a very important domain where India has taken lead long time ago in late 90s and early 2000s, where we established a very robust PKI infrastructure as per our legal framework in the IT Act. And this has proved to be very resilient over the last 2 decades. And it has also served the needs of the industry, needs of the government, needs of citizens to really create trust, confidence, and to ensure security and integrity in the electronic transactions. It has also evolved the entire concept of PKI, entire concept of security, trust, integrity, confidentiality. They've all evolved along with the changes that we have witnessed in the overall IT world, in the government services, in e-governance, and in other domains. India has made very rapid strides in the IT sector. We are definitely amongst the world's superpowers insofar as IT domain is concerned. Under the Digital India program over the last 8 years now, we have made very rapid advancements, which have been also recognized globally in terms of the impact that they have created on our systems, impact in terms of bringing positive benefits to the people, to the industry, etc. The platforms that we have built, the global scale public digital platforms, I think we should feel proud of what we have achieved, because the rest of the world is now looking at India very intently as to how we have achieved so much of success in building such population scale platforms, which have such a wide positive impact on the entire service delivery framework or entire interface with the citizens in such a short time. What we have built in the form of, for example, the digital ID platform, the Aadhaar platform, the unified payments interface, the digital payment platform, the government e-marketplace, the GST network, all these platforms and several others, they are now world-class models for everyone else to really understand as to how we have been able to achieve so much in a short period of time. Now, for the next vision of Digital India, we must think innovatively. So let me spend a few minutes on what really we envision for the Digital India program in the coming years, and how we should be really making our efforts to achieve that vision. So, as you all would be aware, there are several key areas where the program currently focuses, which we need to really, reinvent in some sense to make this decade as India's decade, as is the vision of the government. For the next 5 to 8 years, when we talk about India's decade in this in the technology world, we must focus on a few key areas, which I would like to just mention briefly here. The first key element of this is to create a really world-class digital infrastructure touching every citizen in the country, and also reaching out to all parts of the country, including all the villages and every nook and corner. This is one area where we have made very significant achievements in the past, in the last decade or so. But we still have quite a way to go before we can say that every citizen in India has access to quality digital infrastructure. That can happen only when we expand the network availability across the entire country. We expand the fiber access to all the villages, not just to the village panchayat, but also to all the villages. That's also the vision of the government now, to really reach the fiber connectivity to all the 600,000 villages. So that's one area where we feel that we must make more efforts to ensure that every citizen in the country, including those in the villages, they have access to quality connectivity and quality digital infra. The upcoming 5G availability will definitely help in this regard, which we all are really eagerly anticipating. The next component of this entire vision of India's decade is to focus on building more world-class public digital platforms as a part of our digital government strategy. Already large scale efforts are going on in domains like health, in education, in agriculture, where we already have built very large scale public digital platforms to ensure that these domains can really transform with the infusion of IT, and all the stakeholders, including citizens, the industry, all of us can benefit from this large scale infusion of IT, which will result in digital transformation of these domains. The third key component of this vision for India's decade is to focus on one strategic area where we have not been really able to make much headway in the past. And this is the domain of electronics manufacturing. This is a strategic area where we all must put focus. We must ensure that all our efforts they result in significant impact and make India a global hub for electronics semiconductor manufacturing. Already we have made strides in mobile devices manufacturing, but still we need to develop full spectrum capabilities in the domain of electronics and semiconductor manufacturing. Another major component of this India's decade vision is to focus on bringing modern digital laws. So, as you might all be aware, Ministry is focusing on really revamping its legal framework, bringing comprehensive amendments to our IT legal framework. Also, the focus is to bring a new comprehensive personal data protection law, data governance framework, which would actually help in ensuring that our entire data governance ecosystem that is modernized, and we make use of curated data sets to really develop advanced technologies. As we are all aware, data is a very vital component of digital economy today. And unless we focus on using our data meaningfully, we cannot really hope to grow our digital economy to the level of $1 trillion that we all aspire for in the next 4 to 5 years. So if we have to achieve the goal of $1 trillion digital economy by 2026, then we must focus on ensuring that our data is used meaningfully to really grow this entire ecosystem, to bring innovation, to help startups to support them to really become world class in innovating and producing new technologies and applications. The next component, which is extremely vital in this entire vision of India's decade, is to focus on emerging technologies. This is one area where India can rightfully claim global leadership if we can really put our efforts together in the next 5 to 8 years. And already, as we are all aware, India is making significant strides in domains like artificial intelligence, in blockchain, in advanced areas of cybersecurity, in IoT, and hopefully with the upcoming 5G ability. This entire domain of IoT and the high speed communications will get the necessary support required for it to grow. So we must focus on these emerging domains where we feel that we have a huge potential to really become global leaders. And this will again be a key part of our vision as we think about the time frame of next 5 to 8 years and make this decade as India's decade. Another area where we currently can claim global leadership is in terms of making talent available for the requirements of the entire IT and digital domain, not only within India, but at a global scale. In fact, today, India is the only country which can claim to be the source of talent at a global scale. So this is one area where we need to really put our efforts together to ensure massive skilling efforts, re-skilling efforts, to ensure that we can produce talent who have very advanced IT skills, not only in the current technologies, but also in the future, in the futuristic and emerging technologies. So that's another area where we feel that we need to really put our thoughts together, put our efforts together to ensure that India can become the talent capital of the world. And that's one area where MeitY is making really very significant efforts by collaborating with the industry, with the academia, etc., to really ensure that we can do the skilling at the scale that is required to achieve global leadership in the next 5 to 8 years. In all these areas, we have launched very significant new initiatives, which some of which I would like to mention here. For example, we are working on a national program on AI. We already have national strategies on blockchain, on additive manufacturing, etc., which are all aimed at ensuring that India can take global leadership in these domains in the years to come. So I would like to say here that future, insofar as the IT and digital domain is concerned, looks very exciting from India's point of view and from the point of view of all of us. And we in MeitY and also in the wider IT and digital domain, all the stakeholders, including academia, our students, our startups, our researchers, we all are very enthused to really achieve this vision of India's decade, that is technology decade, in the next 5 to 8 years, and ensure that we can address the challenges that we foresee will come in our endeavors. In the domain of PKI also, we need to focus on the emerging challenges. For example, we need to develop quantum safe PKI ecosystem. We also need to ensure that we can take advantage of the rapid advancements being made in the emerging technologies and make our PKI systems robust and scalable to meet the emerging requirements. And I'm sure with the programs and schemes that we have envisioned as part of the MeitY ecosystem, which is headed by the CCA, but we have a large number of CAs as part of this ecosystem. We have our academic institutions, our researchers, our industry in this entire endeavor. We all need to focus on the challenges that are going to come as we look towards scaling up and making our entire security system, our entire PKI system more robust and capable of addressing the futuristic challenges. So let me convey my best wishes to all the participants in this very important conference in Bangalore. I'm sure the deliberations during the conference will help to shed light on the way ahead that we all should be thinking about as we look towards addressing the futuristic challenges in the domain of PKI and in the larger ecosystem of Digital India, which we all feel very proud of regarding our achievement that we have done. And we all are very excited when we look at the future as to where we are heading. And with the support of MeitY's ecosystem, with the support of the government, all the central government departments, all the states and the industry, I'm sure that the vision of India's decade for the next 5 to 8 years, our digital economy vision of $1 trillion in the next 4 years, 4 to 5 years, that we would definitely be able to achieve. So my best wish again on this occasion to all the participants and for a very successful conduct of this entire event over the next 2 days. So thank you very much for inviting me here. And again, I would have really loved to be present physically there, but unfortunately that's not possible. But I look forward to more interactions with the entire PKI ecosystem stakeholders in the future. Thank you so much.